Well, hello, hello, hello. Oh, the camera's a little wonky. Let's try to fix it real quick. There you go. There you go. It looked like a ghost, but the green screen's working, so we take the wins. We take the wins. Alright, hello everybody. Hopefully there's a body with the Every. We're gonna paint this Ahriman fella today. This is the last of the Thousand Suns. I have a couple of bases left to do the rim on, but he's the last mini that we got. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then we'll have like a short break at some point because I think UPS guy is gonna show up eventually, so I'll have to go get the deliverers. But other than that, this should be. I'm expecting this guy to be roughly 2 hour. Because the hardest part is that this guy has like lots of robes going on. Like he's got like the main thing, and then like an additional like robe, and then he's also wearing gloves. He's the only Thousand Suns with gloves instead of armor. And so that's like all stuff that we have to think about, because the other guys, the other sorcerers, they only have like the one thing, so we did all of them the same color. But this guy, if we do all of these the same, that's a whole lot, right? And you'll notice that it's kind of started, and that's just because I did all of them at the same time, and also because, so this is a gold, by the way. This is let's get that out of the way. This is Retributor armor, and then Agrox Earthshade. So it started because, first of all, I did all the Thousand Suns together with the gold like spraying, and then also I did the shade earlier this morning because otherwise the first step of this stream would be, let's Agrox Earthshade and then wait for 5 minutes diddling our thumbs while this dries. So I kind of did that already. It's not the most artistic thing that you need, but you get like a kind of nice pre-shaded, and I did no effort on the cloaks and whatnot because that's not important right now. So with that, let's get on the way, and we'll start with the armor thingy. So this is my like no trim method. I've talked about this a little bit to a couple of my friends. So the main like the hard point with like most of these chaos things is doing trims. Trims are they take forever. They need precision. There's a million of them. It's not very artistic. You don't feel good about yourself. So our goal is going to be, we're basically doing reverse. So instead of painting the trims, we're painting the armor. We're starting with the trims already done, and instead we're just painting the armor. So you notice I'm being out of frame is what I'm being. You'll notice. There we go. This is much better. Okay, so I'm being very careful around the disc because I think what we'll do is we'll keep the middle gold and we'll do the outer like rim in blue. That will give us like a cool little variety. Because I want to not like stack the colors on top of one another, right? And then painting over the robes, I don't really care because, well, it's not going to stay that way, right? Okay, so now So the only reason I think this is easier than painting trims is just because the contrast paint flows super well. So it's kind of easier to just like fill in the holes rather than just trying to do trims and not go over anything else. It's like it's a cool speed painting thing, but it does require like some precision where you're gonna need precision anyway. Because like painting trims also require precision, but I've grown a bit I've grown a fan of this technique. I've used it a bunch. So like doing Thousand Suns and World Eaters for me, that would always be like my go-to would be to do this, where we just get like a metallic finish. Because you don't need to use in this case we use the metallic because we get like this like really shiny blue color for the armor, which I like. But you could use like regular paint instead if you wanted to. And then just do like a little highlight, but I like this. And this is the time consuming part, honestly, filling the armor. But we're lucky this guy is mostly robes, not all armor, because his armor is very intricate, so otherwise it would be like a really long guy. And then we have to figure out the helmet situation. The disc is moving. It's really confusing. It's like a bobblehead almost. Like it's wiggling. Okay, it just adds to the challenge. We're not scared of a little challenge. Also, it started raining outside, so that's pretty cool. It's gonna cool down over here, and then hopefully we don't lose power. Doesn't look like it's severe enough for the power outaging. Okay, and we leave this, and we paint probably the inside of the inside here of the horns in like black, just to get some more color in there. And then he has like an elbow armor situation. Shockingly little blue on this arm, on so many cloaks, and he's got the gloves, so there's not a whole lot in terms of armor that we need to do. And this might be a model where we have to go back with the two main, like the two robe colors in between, just to figure out which one should go where. Again, we want to avoid overlapping as much as possible, right? So we don't want like burgundy on burgundy or black on black. That's gonna be our two like main colors. Oh my god, why is he moving so much on the... This is wild. Is it because it's like poorly glued, or is it like partly broken? Is it coming off? This is weird. Haha. Parabellum. Yeah, well, yeah, right now there is like a whole lot of gold for sure, but we're gonna... Like the gold with the extra shading is kind of nice because it provides like a nice backdrop of like everything in this army that's like really not painted is gold. Like all the recesses and whatnot, gold. No questions asked. And then we'll do, I think, the side of the disc here as well. So do we need to do, oh, the backpack needs some sort of gold situation. Some sort of blue, sorry. It's already plenty of gold on it, so. Okay. And then do we want to add some more to this? I don't think so, honestly. I think maybe we kind of like keep the, we reserve the right to come back to it. Oh, well, we have to do the disc though. Let's do, and again the same idea. I want to do the sides of the disc with no, like, not the little spikes, because I think getting this like big gold chunk on the mini is the coolest part. And then maybe we add some glowy stuff in the rooms and stuff, but whatever. We'll just do the whole. Let's do the whole affair. Right. Is this gonna be interesting? I feel like this is not it at all. Like, at all. I think we might have to do the freaking. Maybe we just do the inside, like, little circle. Oh, that's okay. Okay, that's a thing. That's a thought. You know what? I don't like where this is. I don't think this is gonna look nice, and also it matches with the foot. Like, in the proper, like, angle, it doesn't look really nice. So I think we'll just do this little circle here. Yeah, I think that's the better way to do this. So we'll give this like a moment to dry, the blue that we did here on the sides, before we come back to it with like a gold, and then we'll just touch it up. I will put that back into gold, and I think what we do is we just add some of these runes in like orange or something at the end, if we, because there's going to be some, like, this piece, the camera is having like a hard time focusing. Oops. Whoa. Moving the camera around, dropping panes. This is a nightmare, folks. Nightmare. All right. Yeah, so there's going to be, like, so we want to do the staff that glows a little bit. With the hand is like casting a spell. So that's also glow. So, and then the bottom of the disc is also going to be like a glowing thing. So there's like a lot of like pieces on this that we need to account for. So we don't need to like hard commit to anything just yet. So what we'll do is we'll keep going with our colors, and then we'll revisit this disc, the part of that disc later, which probably just after this step here. So we'll start with black for our other extra colors. And the reason is that I want the gloves to be black, because I think if we do the gloves in like the burgundy color, it will look atrocious. This is the best. It get rained like 30 seconds ago, and some guy's mowing his lawn right now. Like, what a terrible idea. We don't need to do the inside of the hand really, because that's going to be like casting a spell and all glowy and stuff. And as with the blue, I'm leaving all of the trims and whatnot in gold. Right. One glove down, one glove to go. And that was kind of it for like the contrasting part. Like the next steps, we don't need to use contrast paints at all. Like we don't really care for the transparency or anything. It was really just the blue that was the Ahriman blue contrast, because we wanted to keep that like the shading that was done with the gold and the metallic tint to our color. But this black is well, this one like it's a bad example because we're going to use other contrast paint, but we're not really using them in the contrast. Like this black here, you can't, like, it's not like a contrast situation where we're not using this to get highlights and shading out of it. It's just because it covers like nobody's business, and it flows really well. That's why I use it. Same thing with the silver that we're going to use is the Army Painter's speed paint thing, which technically is a contrast, but it doesn't behave that way at all. So, like, it don't count, you know? So we know that part is going to be burgundy. So what I think we end up is that this big ass cloak is going to be the burgundy one, and this robe, the inside one, is going to be the black piece, which I don't like because I would like the belt to be black. This is a challenge. Let's do the belt in black. The belt is not going to be burgundy. This does not work at all. Okay, let's do this piece and the little belt in black. Okay, well, we'll do the opposite of what I just said. So many cloaks. So many. Or maybe we just do them fucking burgundy, both of them. Fuck it, right? We just go with the old Bofa situation, as the internet is, you know. I'm gonna be pretty loosey-goosey here. We don't have anything to preserve, so to speak. Okay, I think I changed my mind. The more we're painting this, the more I think we're just gonna go for burgundy clothing all around, with black accents. It will also make, like, it will make this guy fit a lot more with the rest of the army if we do it that way. And again, if like worse come to shove and we don't like it, we just change it when we get there. You know, we don't need to. Because the entire army is like a speed painted force. So even though we're gonna put more effort into Ahriman, he still needs to fit in with the rest of the boys. Okay. Yeah, I think there's going to be plenty of like black details to go around that we don't need to do cloaks in black. It is going to have like enough details. Because my fear was that if we paint both cloaks in burgundy, it's gonna be all burgundy and nothing else. But now, as we're adding some more details to this bad boy, I think it's clear that there's enough to go around. Because like we also do the side of these little horns, which they look good in gold, but I think we can make this. It's gonna be more interesting if we have like another color. Because I don't know if our buddy Parabellum, I don't know if we're saying so much gold as in it's way too much, he needs to be toned down, or just that he liked the bling. You know, I guess it depends on how much hip-hop you listen to on a regular basis, you know. And whether or not you want to be a rap superstar with 5 cars. I do agree that there's a ton of gold already, so we don't need to. We don't need to go out of our way to keep some of the gold there. There's going to be plenty on the final result. And if you're one of those painters that needs like a very detailed plan to go ahead, you're probably not gonna like these live stream, because I wing a lot of those things. Whereas I have a rough idea of what I want to do. How we get there is how we get there. Okay. So if you thought that the things I said like 20 minutes ago still stand now, you're wrong. What's the I have the concept of a plan? Is this? I remember a friend priming it gray, and I was like, "What the hell's wrong with?" Yeah, oh yeah, I would not. I would if ours is gold because we're using the gold, but otherwise it's like black or like Thousand Suns, like a dark blue to keep like the Thousand Suns color, because they're so like they're way too much. Because you could prime it gray and then just do like a very intense shade, I guess. But I would there's just definitely like you need to do some. You have to have like a very like detailed plan about what you're gonna do. If you prime it gray, like you need an actual plan, like a strategy going forward, because otherwise it's just you're in for not enjoying the process. This is a really weird detail. Like the this is stupid. The there's like a chain with like a skull on it, and that is like all curved and everything. But then there's like this little bag thingy that looked like a little ball sack situation. But that one is like super like straight. That so it makes like this should be curved down to go with like the way the model is leaning, or the chain should also be straight on the other. Like I know this is like a space wizard on a floating disc. That realism is like, you know, the little asterisk next to it, but you know, if this is the type of stuff that's like, why, why? This is a simple detail thing. Howdy, who's that? Kamikaze 339. I would be leaning towards doing these horns in black as well, because the detail matches the helmet. But since we're gonna do like a glowy thingy here, I think it's a moot point. Like we're working for nothing if we do that. So I don't think we need to bother with this. Oh yeah, Mr. Dwarf, you want this one? Was it not an? Oh yeah, this must be a different box than the Exalted Sorcerer one for yeah. Because obviously, right? Because he's not an Exalted Sorcerer. Okay, do we have more cables? I think we're good on the black front. Oh wait, there's some more horns. I think they're just harder to, like here. Haha. Right. So I think we're good on this front. So I think we go with burgundy now. We'll just like layer in all of our, we'll block in all of our colors. And then once all the, oh, we might touch up the, let's touch up the gold now just to see where we stand, because this is also going to need some drying time as well. So we'll use a bigger brush for this, just because we don't need to be dainty. This is not going to be, this is not like an artistic thing. We just need to slam down the gold over there. So long blue detail in the disc. And it's gonna look worse for a little bit here until we do the shading. This is not gonna look pretty. But don't worry, it will. I got used Exalted last night because Kill Team can use Thousand Suns Wizard. Ooh. Wait, what's is there like a special Thousand Sun Kill Team, or is it just you use your Thousand Suns like Rubric Marines, or is there a box? Or is the Exalted Sorcerer the Kill Team? Is that what? So I'm sorry, I'm not too. I'm not familiar with Thousand Suns, and I'm not familiar with Kill Team. So no, because Exalted Sorcerer is not like a unit per se. It's a model selection, so it's not a Kill Team box as is. Okay, so yeah, okay. There's no Thousand Suns Kill Team official. Because it would probably be some weird fucking Tsangor type thing, if there was, or Tsangor with demons mixed in maybe. Because I doubt they would make like, because Rubric Marines are like space dust, right? That's the whole lore about them. So it would not really make any kind of sense to have like a kill team of the Dusty Boys, except if they were like all wizards or something. The Warp Coven kill team. That's dope. Oh, so it didn't look too. The worst part, I thought it would look really, really shitty. The gold that we just added, but it's not. It's not even so bad. Like, it's obviously not done, but it's not. Converted my Exalted as Alpha Legion. Ooh. You can have 6 units, either sorcerers or rubric. Wait, there's no Tsangors in the Thousand Suns skill. Wow, that's wild. Really? That's cool. Okay, yeah, so let's keep color blocking. So we'll do, but you can use Tsangors as well for the price of a half unit. Also, you could double. You could do. Ooh, hey, Kamikaze329 subscribing to the channel. Cool, thank you. I think if we get, I think 2 more, we hit 460 during the stream. There's nothing special about 460, but 960. We are looming ever closer to that 1,000 mark. If we get the random 43 new subs, we hit 1,000 while painting the 1,000 Sun. That would be like, it's not gonna happen, but it would be cool, you know. It's not gonna happen, but it would be sexy. Would be fitting. Yeah. Oops, all Tsangor. Yeah, I mean, but it cannot be. Like, I cannot imagine a world where 12 Tsangors and no. Maybe you do 10 Tsangors and a sorcerer. You know, like the guy's like a sheep herder. I like that idea. The shepherd. Mind you, I've never played Kill Team. I currently own 3 painted kill teams. Never played a single game. It's just because I use them for 40k. And pretty soon we're gonna paint the Votan one, the Jaeger guys. I don't know. Well, probably not a YouTube team, but probably a Twitch stream that we do the Jaeger guys. I don't really have like a Votan army, but I have the start of a Votan army, and the Jaegers are part of that. Be because they are one of the best 40k units. So. So what's tricky about the robes is that it's a very big surface, but it's also like all around a bunch of details. So we do have to take our time when we do it. So that's, you know. This is always the conundrum of like using a very big brush because it's a large surface, but also not fucking up everything. I could bash some pink ores as proxies to replace the Sangor just because I like the models. I find the Votan very hit or miss. Like I love some of them, and I don't I like some others. I find like the Berserkers I find are the stupidest guy. Like I like the cosmonaut type look, and then the Berserkers are like very dwarfish. But why are they in this army is like kind of a little bit beyond me. And then the Jaegers are in between. I think I like the weapons. Can't wait to paint my T-Sons. Need to get done with my Admech army first. Ooh, Admech is a... Oh, leaving with the green screen. Yeah, Admech is a rough army to... It's like a long army, right? T-Sons was like really fun to... But like this is the last mini of the T-Sons army that we have. Well, I need to do some details on a couple of bases. Still like the rims of a bunch of bases. But it's really, otherwise it's done, you know. And then we of course we have to finish this bad boy over here. But it was a really fun army. Like I didn't paint like a, I think it's the first like real Thousand Suns army that I paint. Because I was it yesterday or whenever we did the Magnus, I was like trying to recall if I painted more than one Magnus before, because I'm pretty sure I painted my buddy Jax's Magnus at some point, but I don't think I've done like that many. So and then because Thousand Suns is not an army I've ever owned for myself, so I don't think I did like a lot of them. You use a different gold. No, this is Retributor Gold. This is Retributor Gold and a Grox Earthshade, but like a healthy dose of a Grox, or you know, like more than the recommended, more than what the doctor prescribed amount of a Grox Earthshade. But this is Retributor armor, yeah. Okay, so this brush is the worst because it's too large for the small details and it's like too small for the large. Like it's kind of stupid. It does nothing well. So that was like a poor choice. But because we're a little bit masochistic on this channel, we're gonna keep using this brush to bask in this mistake. I could be, I could be like teaching you guys good stuff and good practices. Like, if you make a mistake, it's not okay. Just switch and stop doing that mistake. But no, we are gonna fight with this and be unhappy and miserable with this choice of brush instead. It looked way cooler than Retributor. It's the Agrox Earthshade, man. It makes, It's like ketchup. It makes everything taste good. Grox Earthshade is the ketchup equivalent. Okay, so is this too much? I think it's once we add like highlights, of course. I don't think it will matter too much that it's like a burgundy on burgundy once we add a couple of, just a little bit of highlights. We should be good to go. Oh, what a bummer. We're gonna need to touch this side. Damn it. And then the staff, we don't care. We're gonna repaint the staff, and I just found a new cable that was unpainted. Right here. Oh, there's two of them. So we forgot both of these cables. Okay, perfect. Well, at least we're consistent, right? There's like two cables in the back. We did neither, so 0 for success. But wait, I said colder. Oh, colder. Right. Do a Nazi brown. What? Ask the red. All right. Well, yeah. I don't. No. I don't know what you're saying, my guy. This is probably a language thing because I'm French, you know. Okay, right. Let's keep doing this here. Ask the red, as in Magnus the Red. Yeah, so 0 for success here on the cables front, but you know, 10-10 for consistency. Whereas we did all of them except the two, and the two are exactly the same. Like they mirror each other in the exact same spot. So we're not being thorough, but we're being consistent. Alright. Didn't he have like little sleeves? Or we'll do the underneath. We'll do the underneath of the the cloak here, and then we'll switch to like a smaller brush and make our life easier. Okay. We don't have to. Like we don't have to risk it for content. You know what I mean? As much as you guys like to see me struggle and rage and verbally abuse these little toy soldiers, we're not going to do that. Well, I mean, we probably will do it still, but not for, you know, not for lack of trying. Okay, so I really thought it would be way too much. Like way too much burgundy, but it's not so bad. Keep a grinding, bud. Gotta go. Gonna dive into your vid. Oh, alright, cool. Thank you. Good luck with the AdMech army. I know how struggle. I know how that can be a struggle sometimes. Enjoy your day. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Much appreciated. Alright, let's do the little sleeve situation. Bop bop. Alright, Martin, my man, you need to start making sense, or we're gonna discover some YouTube features together. Thanks, boss. Lots of tiny pieces to paint. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And if you're scared of little details, AdMech is not for you. I'll tell you that much. That little book cover is a. That little book cover, probably we do it black? Question mark? I don't. Yeah. Is a challenge. Okay. Oh, the collar. The collar is a fun little. So I think it's gonna be easier to do the whole collar and come back and do the trims. Even though I, really was aiming for 0 trim. I think dodge. Well, we'll try. You know what? The objective was 0 trim. I think if we do 1, it's close enough. Fuck, we'll just burgundy the whole hole. And then this side is just as challenging. I think this, like unassembled, this guy would be like way easier because there's a lot of like overlap. Which like it makes for a really cool, like the mini is really cool. But it all adds up. Fuck me. Well. Oh my god. We're doing. This is the worst. This is officially the worst. There's like so much fucking burgundy everywhere. Oh, marron. We fucked up. Okay. Okay. It's not so bad. We can still make it. We can still. This is fine. And little ear flaps. Ear flaps. Bop bop. Yeah, so we'll get like a bunch of like gold touch-ups. That's not the end of the world. That's also why I wanted to do color blocking like so early, is because there's so much going on that like we're bound to make mistakes. And by we, I mean me, of course. I'm including you guys because I don't want to be left out, But it's only me. I'm the one making the mistakes. uh, okay, so I think we're good on the purpley front. Oh no, there's like this side here. Right. And then the inside of the... Okay. Okay. Right. Right. So before we forget, we're gonna give the two like panels on the disc a an agroxide shading. That way we don't forget it. So we'll do that right now. Because we could also wait and then just do. Because if we have to fix our gold situation, we'll need to shade as well. So. The cooler gold, as Mr. Dorf puts it. And I think we'll do we'll do the spikes in like silver, so that will make a because we want to make a little bit of difference into the disc, but not, like we don't need to overdo it. I don't think. Okay, we're making good progress. Let's fix the. Let's try to do the little book cover, and we'll put it in blue. I think there's not so much blue on the mini that we need to hide it or anything. We need to shy away from it. So we'll just add some of the blue. Boop, boop. There we go. This is like such a small detail that it's kind of fine. Okay, this is sweet. Next up, let's touch up the black situation, the cables that we forgot in the back, and then we can also check to see any other mistakes. Boop. Right. Right. Okay. I mean, with just the base color is already starting to make a lot more sense than the gold mess that we have that Parabellum was like questioning our sanity here. So, first of all, thank you for checking in on me. It's it's always good. But also, I'm glad to see this is kind of working out for us. Let's touch up the gold. It might be a mistake, but I like the. Yeah, it's probably it's not like a mistake, but it's probably wasting a little bit of time. We want to touch up the pieces that we hit accidentally with the burgundy. Yeah, this is a mistake. We're fucking it up. We're fucking it up even more. Oh no, it's terrible. This is terrible. Okay. Well, we started all this with color blocking, so might as well do the silver now. There's only really the staff and the the little spikes on the disc. And for that, we're gonna use the speed paint thingy. So broadsword silver, but this is not really like a speed paint, because it's just really good silver paint. It's not really like, it doesn't do really the contrast thing that the other speed paints do. But it's just like insanely good. Because it covers super well and it flows super well. So like this took like a half a second to do the entire staff. And then, all right. So now let's get the spikes going. So with these things, I found it's best to work in a series. So we'll do all of them from this side, then we'll switch the model around and do all the other side, and then we'll do the top on all of them. I found that that's a better like system. Up. Are you guys taking like summer vacation and stuff, or is that like a boomer thing? Like, you know, like, I say boomer like it's a mean thing, but like, is that like a past generation type thing of like having like summer vacation, or is that still a thing with like the young people? Because I work in a non, you know, well, I don't really work. That's the point. So I don't really work and I don't really do vacations. I'm just curious as to like, are people still doing that, like the 2 weeks in summer or whatever, or you guys just like working away and then taking vacation somewhere else? Is that like still a thing? All right, so we did all of this like this side, so now we can just do the opposites. We'll go uppy downy, and then afterwards we'll do the top section of each little spike. Bap. Oh, all my friends have left. Oh no. Bap. And then we're gonna just add like some shading to this to make it pop even more, because again, it's not doing like a big contrasty thingy. Whereas like going like super dark in the shades and whatnot, it's really just good silver paint. And there we go. And then we'll do the top section. Boop. I see this guy's going like pretty fast. For the amount of like details that was going on this, I'm pretty happy with the time that we're putting in right now. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Oh, yeah, there's still lots to go here. Now don't get me wrong, but I like where this is going. A little airy over there. Little hairy man. Okay. So I think we're good on this with this. So let's move on to highlights. Question mark? Yeah, let's move on to highlights. So let's do the burgundy first. That's our main thingy. So we'll use you know what we haven't done is get some coffee. That's what we need to do. Yeah, that is exactly what we needed. Sorry, I'm trying to fix something while we. Right. Right. Okay, figured it out. Right. Okay. Let's get going. We are great. Boop boop. So let's do the highlights. So we're gonna use Screamer Pink, and we're gonna be kind of light with this. We don't want to overdo it because then it's gonna turn our entire thing pink, and we don't really want that. So we can thin it down just a little bit. Again, but not too much because we don't want to be here all day. If we tint too much, we're gonna need like 2 or 3 coats on everything. It's gonna be like smooth as hell, but it's you know. That's the debate with cloaks is like how smooth do you want it to be versus like how much time you got. You know, it's only 7 days in a week, so. So one way that I like is to get one very like light coat that's not like super opaque, and then we can be way more loose with it. And then once that coat is like on there, then we use paint that's like thicker a little bit and more opaque, and then we give it like a finer highlight. So it's like the same color that we're using twice. And I find that this gives us like a kind of a reasonable amount of like smoothness for smoothness and like vibrancy, I guess. And we really just want to highlight this. We don't want to do like super deep like base coats and stuff. Okay. Let's keep doing that. That's so good. This is yeah. Okay, I like this. I like where this is going. And the bigger cloaks is the same idea, right? Where you don't want to overdo it, but you also need to, well, do it. And here in the bottom, we'll just do just like kind of a hedge highlight situation, just because we want it to be there, just because like if you flip the mini, you want to see some sort of some sort of highlight, but we don't need to overdo it either. There's no point. And we can use like a bigger brush. If you want to get like smoother highlight on like big areas, just use the very big brush. Because like really, it sounds counterintuitive, but if you want like you want less brush strokes, so you use a bigger brush. That way you actually use less brush strokes, and so. Well, it's counterintuitive because you assume you want to do something very fine detail and precise with it, and so you need to use a small brush, but not really. Another good way in cloaks and stuff is to go perpendicular with the folds. So right now the line that I'm painting is essentially this way, but instead of painting just a line this way, like up and down on this, like up and down on the screen, I want to go left to right and kind of stop at the top of the curve, and this will also give me like a smoother result than if I was doing just like a up and down lines. Sweet. So that's a start. But on like a lot of the characters, I only did one pass and then a shade for the highlight, like a one like rougher highlight. But because this is like Ahriman, we're gonna take a little bit more time and effort, do the cloak. Also, he's like this guy is like 90% cloak, so might as well put some effort into it. That's all there is. Bop bop. Okay. All right, so we're starting to get some contrast in there, and it's also not turning too pink. So I think we're achieving something cool. We're staying within the goal here. Okay. Cool. Like this, we're gonna add some extra edge highlights. So now we're gonna, this is our like second pass. So now our paint is like a little bit thicker. We don't need to thin it as much, and we're gonna be a little bit more precise with what we do. I don't think we did anything on the collar, so we might need to. Yeah, the collar is not like zero highlights. So. Okay. Okay. That's the, okay. We're getting into something nice here, folks. Okay. Next up. Okay. Next up, we are gonna highlight our black. And we're gonna, and this is gonna be very, like, we're not gonna do it too much. We don't want to turn this into something else. But because there's like a lot of areas, we can't leave it like flat. That would not be great. So we'll start. We'll just do like the gloves like really quickly. The skull thingamabob. And then here we're gonna not use like thin down paint. We're gonna use good old thick as hell paint. And we're just gonna do like the sides of these horns. This one as well. Little sash, little pistol. The hands, I'm not too. This one especially, I'm not too worried about because it's gonna be all glowy and shit. So. Okay, so that should be good to go. Next up, And this is a really cool piece. Like I'm really happy about how it's turning out. Oh, I wasn't too sure. I've never painted this guy before, so. I feel like maybe we do the like circle things, the like the reactor thingies. Maybe we do those in blue. The reason I'm leaving them gold now is because the rest of the army, that's how they are. But he doesn't have like a lot of blue compared to like a lot of the other Thousand Suns in the army. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we wait. We could do that at the very end. It won't matter too much. We'll wait. We'll figure it out later. The art will reveal itself to us, you know, when it's ready. Sounds super pretentious when I say it, but like some great guy said it. Like I think it was like Michelangelo had said that or something. Like one of the like super like sculptors. Yeah, one of like the Greek sculptors. He said that he was like, "Well, I never know what I'm gonna sculpt. I'm letting the marble tell me, and it will reveal itself." Like what the fuck? It's a baller quote though. So in the cloaks, we want to avoid letting the shade pool in because we don't want it to dry too much, like as it wants, because the shade will do its own thing, right? If you go like super heavy on it, it will dry wherever it pleases, but because there's so little texture in it, you can't really control how it dries. So instead, we're really more aiming for one even coat across the entire thing just to darken it up. But in areas like the staff, then now we can be, you know, a lot more generous, because the staff has like a lot of these details, whereas now it doesn't matter. Now we kind of want it to dry how it pleases. Because in the staff we can tell where it will dry, whereas in the cloak it's a little bit random. Okay. Well. And here we can even do the black like belt situation. We don't care. We don't care. It's gonna work out. Pretty stoked with this, the way this guy's turning out. The more we add, the more I like. These details here. And then we'll do all the spikes on the disc as well. If we were like if we had gone like way heavier with the highlights on the like the horns and stuff, we could, now would be a good time to shade it. We'd tone it down a whole lot, but we were pretty dainty, pretty reserved. delicate. We were delicate little flowers when it came to the highlight. And so we can leave it as is. So now the technique that we did earlier for these spikes is not gonna work because we don't want the shade to dry in the middle of the place. We want to do each spike completely before moving on to the next. We don't want to leave it like halfway done like we did for the silver. There we go. Here we go. And this shade also creates like a pretty sweet distinction between the gold and the silver. Whereas when it's all metallics, sometimes it's a little bit harder to see. Whereas now there's no question as to what it is. Okay, so usually, what do we do next? Because I'm leaning, I want to do this big magically thingy thing. Okay, let's give this a moment's pause. Let's drink some coffee and collect our thoughts. Let's do that. Whoops, I'm leaving with the green screen, guys. Ooh, ooh. My back cracked like 9 different ways. Okay. Right. Because now really all that's left is adding some glowy magical stuff and a couple of like the smaller details. And then maybe a couple of touch-ups. There is some touch-ups. I might start with the touch-ups actually. Start with the touch-ups. There's one main one that keeps bothering me. I do that one first. Okay. That was the second one. Right. Okay, well. Oh, there was a... There we go. Oh, this thing here should be silver. Let's see if we can do... It's like the gun. And these are just like really little details, but just because we add these little details, it makes the whole, like it's not much, but just adding them breaks apart the whole like entirely black vibe that these things have. Right. So next up, let's get our orange. Orange. Bop. And so we'll do one pass of orange on this magical thingamabob. Because this is, again, we're using contrast because Magma Draught Orange, whoa, covers really, really well. Because it's like a very bright orange and it covers kind of well compared to a lot of the oranges. But we'll probably still need 2 coats to get like a good thing going. Because our trick here is going to be, we do the spell kind of an opaque orange, and in the area where it kind of like connects with something else, we add this with the airbrush, so we'll get like a kind of a more, like, I want to say natural transition, but it's definitely not natural because it's bright fucking orange and it's magic, but you know, magic, natural looking, I guess. I don't know. Realistic? It's not even realistic. I don't know what the proper word for this is. Smooth, I guess. Silky smooth, like my brain, you know, silky smooth. Right. And then the hand, yeah, we're not too worried about what's the content or the transition on the hand itself, because the hand is going to be mostly orange with the. We're going to do that part with the airbrush to get like a really shiny look. Make that transition really shine. Okay, so now, well, while we got this out, we might as well do all the other details. The orange looks a bit weird at first. We really need the highlight. Once we add the highlight, it sort of makes sense. But until we put the highlight, it just looks a little bit weird. I did the whole army that way. That's why I'm not too stressed out about how it looks now, but you might have reservation, which I understand. Essentially our goal is to get like an orange base coat, then we highlight with yellow, and then we just come back with like a very small shade. And the shade is just gonna mask like the transition between whatever color is underneath the gems or whatever pieces that we do in orange. So one part that we're not going to do now is the inside of the disc. And the reason for that is I think I want some orange in there, like the runes and whatnot. But also I want to see the kind of the almost like final result before I do those. Because maybe we don't need to add some more details to the disc because the hand and the staff are going to glow enough as they are. So we don't need to do that right now because Like this orange is a little bit like, you know, a hot sauce, where if we have a little bit, it turns a, you know, a tacos into a great tacos, but if we had too much, it just fucking ruins it. Even though it's great, you know. I don't remember what video I heard that from, but that is not an example from me. But I liked it. It was not about miniature painting. But anyway. I thought it was really appropriate. Okay, well, let's get our airbrush out and let's get the orange and the yellow situation going. Okay. We should not need like too much orange. I think this is going to be more than enough. Probably. Okay. So we'll start with the bottom of the disc. And there's an argument to be made to do this after we do the sand. I don't want to do that. I like to have like the sand color like really just by itself. It makes for a kind of a cleaner result, which is great when with these like speed painted type of models where we have like a lot of like shortcuts. So having some like very clean breaks and clean definitions helps make the model feel less like rushed. Like so. And we'll just add a little bit to this. And the hand here, that's gonna get some overspray because that's the nature of the beast. That's what we want. So we'll give the base a second coat. Okay. That's neato burrito, as they say. I don't know if they say that, but I say it, so that's cool. Right, so now we're gonna rinse this off real quick. Because we don't want to put yellow into, like we want the yellow to be as yellow as possible. We don't need to leave any of the orange in there. A little, you know, maybe a little bit, just because we're... Yeah, this is fine. There's not enough to matter, you know? Right, next up, yellow. That's plenty. That's... Some might say way too much. So shiny and bright. Right. And now we get this little cool looking thing. And then we'll give this like another shading so we don't... And then here, what we're going to do is we're going to cheat our way in with a mask. Yeah, this is going to be the world's laziest mask solution, which is one paper towel that we're going to... that way. And then according to like the laws of physics and shit, we should not hit our mini with this spray. Provided that we, hold it in place somehow. Well, the laws of physics triumphed, folks. It worked. So we're gonna save. Do we have enough to? Yeah, there's nothing in there left. So let's. Apparently, we used up the proper amount of yellow. We're gonna rinse this out real quick. But actually, we'll be a little bit thorough. I don't really need the airbrush today anymore, so we'll just do a quick clean. Okay, so 1:30. I said 2 hours, around 2 hours, and we didn't go like specially fast or specially slow, and we're 1 hour 30 into this program. So I said we're doing pretty good on time. Well, the base is like, well, next step is going to be the first step of the base, just because we need it to dry before we get going. So we'll work on the base just a little bit before kind of finishing this orangey yellowy thing. And then we'll resume the orange situation. So we'll take a big ass beaten down brush that nobody cares about, like this guy right here. And this guy did all the bases for our Thousand Suns, so he's a real MVP here. It's not me. It's the orange $5 brush that painted a whole army by himself and then did all the bases for this army. So really, this guy's the greatest. So let's go for and the reason we do this now is that this is like super thin down because I want the paint to like go into the recesses of the sand that's on there. But because the next step is like a dry brush, I do need this to be dry because dry brush, right? So we're gonna do it now, just so it has like time to dry, and we don't have to like watch paint dry as part of this stream. And we'll be kind of careful around the little flames. We don't want to redo it. And I've found that like using a bigger brush does not really help in this this situation, because you do need to be like thorough and also like do a kind of a clean job like around the mini and stuff. So this is a drawback of like the minis that are stuck to their base like real hard, whereas we can't do the base separately, which in this case would have helped because we could just like we could have lined up like our, I think there's like almost 100 infantry in the army, so we could have lined up like our all of our bases and then either use the shaker can or an airbrush and then just like went to town with. Now we have to do all the minis individually and then dodge around whatever, like the foot or the flames or whatever is holding them up. So it is like more time consuming. So from like a commission standpoint, it's a little bit frustrating. Well, not frustrating because like it's frustrating because you have to tell somebody like, well, you know, I have to charge you more for these bases just because it's gonna take me so much longer, and then that sucks. But like I know because Mike bought this like secondhand, so he did not do this to himself, you know. He bought them secondhand, and it was just they were glued on there until death do us part. Like you were never removing these guys from their bases. Okay, so we'll do a couple of more highlights with the yellow. And we'll even, because this is a fancy pants, we'll even add a little bit of the orange to our first highlight. So we'll get like a smoother transition into like the gems and stuff. And use a smaller brush, but this guy is pretty handy. This is a Rosemary and Co numero dos. I would buy probably the bigger one, like probably number 4. If I like when it comes time to rebuy it, or if I go to the store and they have one, probably get the number 4. I like this one is really it's fine. It's just for the larger areas that we do need to switch. Like it doesn't work really well. Like you saw when we did the cape and stuff, it was not great. Like so. And again, yeah, this is mostly the gems. We're not really doing any real highlights, so to speak. This is really just and now we'll switch to a smaller brush and like straight up yellow. No mixing, no nothing. Where's that super small dude that I don't use ever? That one? Yeah. This is like the smaller, the miniature series. I don't really. I bought 2 because they were on sale, and I've used the first one a little bit. The second one is this one, and just opened it up. I don't like it too much. I'm using it because it's like a small brush, and I have it, but it's really not great. So. This one I bought it because I noticed a lot of the like super like high-end painters use the small brush, the small bristled brush. So I was like, oh, maybe there's something to it, and I can't. If there is, I don't know what it is because I don't like them at all. So I don't think we need to add like too much to the base. Or maybe we need to redo that part. There's like a spot of yellow. Like we can kind of see it there. Oh, well, you know, maybe we add it. I think it's gonna look, yeah. Yeah, let's, yeah. Let's just add some orange to this. Sure. This is an interesting one because this does not have like, it doesn't add too much to the mini, and it is time consuming to do. So that's an interesting debate as to like whether or not we should do this or keep going with this. I mean, now that we're started, I think we have to commit to it, but and we're not gonna do the inside though. The inside details, that's too much. Like the inside rooms and stuff. That's. And then there's this last one here. It's like the little eye. Oh, there's plenty. Oh, that's a bummer. There's plenty of little eyes on the side. We should have done that instead of the fucking ruins. Oh, boo, boo. Now we probably can't do both of these because that's too much. It's a bummer. We've chosen. That's okay. That's okay. And we'll just give like this fiery thingamabob some shading. I'm using like really thin down. This is the same contrast but like really thin down. Just so it doesn't overpower the yellow entirely, but because I want this to be orange, not yellow, right? So. There we go. Here we go. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with this Ahriman thus far. We're going to add a little bit of that yellow into these runes that we just painted. And we'll use like thin down again. We can even mix some of that orange with it if we want to. Okay, so the more we paint this, the less I like it. So we're gonna, we don't have to keep doing this. This is a mistake. It does not work. We're not doing that. So what we'll do is we'll leave this to dry. We'll do the little eyes, and then we'll repaint the inside of the disc correctly. There's no, there's no. We're not saving this, and we're not doing any favors by keeping doing this is not working. So we just have to own up to it. Like, we fucked up. This was not a good idea. That's fine. Yeah, we'll get off this bitch and do something else. It's fine. It is mighty fine. Because, like, we can keep, like, kind of fighting it and go, oh, no, it's going to work out. But it's going to take us so much more time than just go, this was not the proper route. Stop, do the little eyes, and then just do the disc back in gold with some shading, and we'll be well on our way. This is what we should have done all along. And in terms of glow, we're doing orange because it's like it's one of the colors that, like, it works. And it's like this army is from my buddy Mike, and it's his favorite color. So we're doing this orange for this reason. But it would also work with, like, bright green. And if we did a different type of blue, I think turquoise would work really well. But it works with, like, a darker, like, more standard, like, Thousand Suns blue. And then you have to go with the turquoise that's, like, leans into the green, not the turquoise that leans into the blue. And those, I think those are, like, the three best options when it comes to, like, Thousand Suns and magical powers and whatnot. I think you pick one of those three and you're good to go. Because the orange looks really good because it contrasts really well with the magenta or burgundy and then the blue. But the drawback is that it kind of looks like every other fire instead of just like magic. It's like it's not out of place per se, but it's less magical. Than something like bright green. Cool. So we'll give this like a minute before we decide if we want to shade the eyes that we just did, and also we'll just we'll take our gold and we'll redo the runes. Fuck is this? So here we're not just doing redoing only the inside of the runes would be like a mistake. Instead, we're just redoing the entire like middle of the rim of the disc, I guess. That would be a mistake just because we never get the same like an accurate like finish. Whereas now we can kind of treat it as like a whole area. So once it dries, we're gonna add a big shade to it, and it's gonna look good. We'll also take black, and I've been meaning to do this a couple of steps ago. And we'll do the inside of this disc with black shading. It's not changing the color too much, but it is like adding the details in, like it's locking the runes in the disc really well. So. Boop. All right. I'm liking this. While we wait for this gold to dry, I guess now is a good time to do the little dry brush on the base, because it should be dry by now. And we have a small piece here, and we're almost done, guys. We are almost done. Bop, bop. So the cool thing about this this sand is that it's super textured, so we don't need to be like super picky with our dry brush. We can use like a big ass brush. It's gonna work really well, and it's gonna do all the details for us. But we do have to be careful around the little flame thingamabob, because we don't want to add bone to this. Cool. Okay, there we go. So now let's get our reasonably sized brush and a grok search shade, and let's fill in the disc area, because there's no reason that the gold would be still wet. Okay, disc cleaned. I like this look, honestly. I think it's a fine centerpiece for our army. It fits really well with the rest of the force. And then the only detail that's left is the side of the base. And the side of the base, we have two options. One of them is to make it brown, like the base coat that we did. The other one is to make it black, which is more classique. I guess the brown one's the actual classique, because it's the Games Workshop way. And I've got two here that are done, and these are the same Marines, basically. So this guy here has the side of the base in brown, and this guy has the side of the base in black. And it's the exact same top of the base, but it just shows you, like, there's no wrong options on this. It's just two different looks. And I think we're gonna go with black. I like black a little bit more for this. I think it's just more like recent, and this is more like, if you open the page of a White Dwarf, you'd see bases like this a lot more, like this one. This one is more, everybody loves the black rim job, right? So I think we're gonna do that. So we're gonna remove Buddy Boy from the plinth. We're going to take our big ass brush, and we are going to go for a black rim job. Boop. And we just have to be careful not to go up to the sand area, because we're using like really thin down paint. And if we go into the sand, it's gonna like seep in, and then it's like the key with this is like it works because it's like a smooth, like it's a smooth clean coat. If it's not like smooth, you're fucking up. Like it does not add anything to the mini. So I like this. I think it's a very cool mini. It took us just under 2 hours to do. Granted, it was a little bit started where we had the gold already done. So I think a 2-hour Ahriman is a pretty good job here. And then it ties in really well with the rest of the army. It's like the same Same scheme and everything. Same like the base thingy, the flame thingy. Like, you know, he looks less like he's part of the same army, but he's way cooler because he's Ahriman. So yeah, mission accomplished, guys. Thanks for being with me, and I'll see you next Tuesday. What day is it? Thursday. I have no idea what we're doing. Maybe a Uriel Ventress for my Ultramarines army. That would be a fun one, a quick one again. Cool scheme. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here. I'll catch you next time. Until then, no excuses. Hobby like champions.